everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Peanut City Police. This week we are joined by Suffolk Police Department's Officer of the Year, Officer Jamison. Officer Jamison, welcome. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Can you first start by telling us a little bit about your journey to becoming a police officer and why you chose this career path, and a little bit about your time in Suffolk? How long have you been with us?
I've been with the City of Suffolk for a little over 5.5 years. I became a police officer because I wanted to be something much bigger than myself. I enjoy helping people. It's a passion of mine, and being a mentor to the youth.
Oh, that's cool. That's great.
Mm-hmm. And you were recently named our 2024 Officer of the Year. What does that award mean to you?
I was. It's an honor to know that all of my accomplishments and the dedication that I've had with the department hadn't been unnoticed by my supervisors, and being able to have the support as well from my colleagues is amazing. It's been a great achievement.
Cool.
Yeah, and I know a lot of times police officers, they don't like awards because they're like, I'm just doing my job. But it is nice to be recognized sometimes.
We are just doing our job, but it's nice that our department does recognize that. So all of the hard work is not unseen.
Good. Yeah, absolutely. And so you were named Officer of the Year in part because of a lot of awards that you accumulated throughout the year of 2024. Noteworthy performances. You got the Medal of Valor for a swimmer in distress call. So can you talk about kind of what goes through your mind on those maybe higher intensity calls, and kind of how you're able to prioritize and keep everyone safe?
Yeah. Once a call comes out, while I'm en route to the call, I think about all the different types of scenarios that can happen and try and prepare myself as best as possible. Once I get on scene, I address the scene to see if there's any potential threats and handle them accordingly. And at that point, it's like gut instinct, such as the swimmer in distress call. Once I arrived on scene, I observed the swimmer was in distress and actively started just taking off my gear and jumping into the water because it's second nature.
Wow.
So it's something that just comes to you.
Well, that's good, and I think shows, I don't know, maybe born for this, but that you're in the right spot, I feel like, for you to be able to just take action and not think twice for it.
Yeah, there wasn't no second thought. It was immediately just do something, and that's what I do with all of the calls. It's go in or not.
Sure. Yeah. Great.
Okay, and is there a moment you have had in your career so far that you look back on that gives you that I made the right career choice, or this is exactly where I'm supposed to be feeling?
Yes, one call that I went on, it was a couple years ago. It was a unconscious patient, and when I arrived on scene, the house, there were some juveniles, younger juveniles. After I addressed the mom, made sure she was okay, medics arrived on scene. I knew that the juveniles were there, and they were frightened. I ended up locating one of the juveniles who were hiding underneath the bed. So what I ended up doing to try and ease him, I got on the floor, laid on my belly, and made contact with him and stayed with him. In doing that, I gained his trust, and he eventually came from underneath of the bed.
Wow.
And then we talked about like his drawings, because he enjoyed drawings, and I have tattoos, and I enjoy drawing, so we were able to bond on that nature.
Wow.
And at the end of the call, we gained that relationship. And since then, I've responded to that house a couple of times, and we had that connection with mom and the kids.
Wow.
So.
Oh, you bring tears to my eyes just knowing that there are police officers out there who truly, truly feel for all victims of crime. And so
Absolutely.
as a citizen as well, I appreciate what you're doing.
Our job is not only catching the bad guys, but taking the time to handle everything, even though it's not part of the call.
Yes.
Yeah, and sometimes it's taking that extra step, and especially with our youth. So now, hopefully, growing up, he knows, at least he has a friend in you, and hopefully he thinks the same of all of the Suffolk Police Department, just because, you took those extra moments. So that's really great.
Yeah.
Awesome. So it is also Women's History Month, and we've been highlighting a lot of that on our social media. So can you talk a little bit about, if there's someone watching this, male or female, and they're thinking, maybe they're on the fence about being a police officer, or they've never even thought about it before, but what would you tell them about joining this kind of career?
Definitely do your homework. If you're on the fence about doing law enforcement, do ride-along shifts with your local agency or your surrounding agency so you have a good idea of what the job entails with an officer on a day-to-day basis. Speak with a recruiter. If you see an officer on the street, just stop and ask them, why did they join? And get some tips and tricks and talk to a recruiter. We'd love to have you. Suffolk is hiring.
Yes, we are.
Yes,
we are.
thank you.
And is there anything else that you would like to add about being SPD's Officer of the Year, or anything about being a police officer in general?
Well, first and foremost, I would like to thank my kiddos for always being there and supporting me through this career, because it does have its moments and challenges. But I also want to thank my colleagues and my supervisors and the command staff for supporting me as an officer as well. Being a police officer, it's not just a job, it's truly a calling, and being able to be there for somebody in the worst part of their life is truly humbling that you're able to help them in that call.
Wow. I just want to hug you.
Yes, well, thank you, Officer Jamison, for joining us today, and congratulations on your numerous awards, but definitely Officer of the Year. That's a great achievement.
Thank you, thank you.
Of course, and thank you everyone for watching today, and we will be back next week with another episode.